What about Aisling's choice?
Pigeons. Frankly, Frank, I have had enough of these disease-riddled rats of the sky. Yes, thank you. Bit of solidarity there. We've just let them roam around, owning the streets of our cities for far too long, and I don't know why. What do? They're obsolete now. Everyone sends text messages, unlike back in the old days when you used to attach, a bit of paper to their legs. And I think that's what it is. I think that's why British people let them stay around so long, is because of all the hard work they did during the war. But, you don't see other veterans going around Trafalgar Square pooing on the monument, so I don't see why we should allow pigeons. And, they just there's an arrogance about them. They're like the aggressive sort of man in a pub being like, no, you move. They're like, just don't like them anymore.
First of all, they are, I think, an important source of exercise for toddlers. I have a 3-year-old, he will chase a pigeon 1.5 miles. You'll run so far, he'll vomit, and then, of course, the pigeon will sort that out. Well, let's see what David has chosen.
My South Africa...
Turn up at an airport in Naples or something, and you're standing in line and waiting to go to the ticket counter, and somebody barges in.
OK, what's Ruby's wild card?
My mother. As far as eccentrics, this was the A-lister of A-listers. So I'm grateful to her for some of my comedy. We had a dog that she loved, Lumpy, and this is not tasteful. But, when people came over, he would sort of grab their leg, and it would smear him off. But my mother would go, look, the lover boy, he's dancing. And then she'd go at the party, she'd go, Lumpy, say Heil Hitler. And he'd go like this. I mean, oh no, she was way out there. Oh,
to be fair, he was only following orders.
Can I just say? You get fixed on things, like I do now, where it's like a Russian missile, just honing in. So she came to England and she said, buy a broom. But then she doesn't stop it, right? So we go to the restaurant, she go, a broom, and with the bristles, not this, with the bristles. And every night she'd draw it in the tablecloth with a knife, with the bristles. It never stopped. So finally I took her to the airport. She's still going, buy a broom. You could see her through the window. And then sits down. As soon as she gets home, about a few days later, she goes, did you get the broom? And then she says, oh, your Aunt Hamburger died. And then she said, now, what about the broom? And I went, wait, what did you just say? And she said, your Aunt Hamburger died. The broom, buy the broom. And I said, what did you say? She went, okay, back the clock up, 24 hours, she's not dead. Now, buy the broom. That's genius. Yeah.
She sounds marvellous. Yeah. My mum used to say, don't put hot tea bags in the bin or you'll set the bin on fire. OK, what doesn't Allard like about nature? Hold it. You'll love this.
Oh, Jesus. This is deep-rooted, isn't it? Can you tell?
Yes.
It's a scorpion. When I was singing as a kid, I was in Israel, and I was singing on the Little Road to Bethlehem, and the director said, sit on that rock, and we'll film you. And so I went to sit on the rock, and the Israeli floor manager said to me, be careful where you sit, because there's loads of scorpions here that'll kill you. So I'm 11, supposedly singing a nice little carol about Jesus and the like, thinking any minute I'm going to die. So, if you spool forward about 4 years, my dad thought it was really funny to hold my hand above quite a few scorpions in a zoo. If social services are watching, they live in Llandegfan in North Wales, by the way.
They'll never find that.
No. So, then, you spool forward again, and I've got 2 kids, and we were abroad, and they were at an age where they have plastic toys, little bugs and stuff like that. and I went to pick up what I thought was a black rubber scorpion, and that tail went up. Oh. And honestly, it was one of the worst moments of my life. It was worse than my voice breaking.
Anyway, let's see what Richard Osman doesn't like about nature.
This is zoo filler.
Now, what is zoo filler?
Zoo filler is all the rubbish animals in the zoo. When you go to a zoo, historically, there's only 5 animals you go to the zoo to see. There used to be 4, there's now 5. You go to a zoo to see the lions, to see the tigers, to see the monkeys, to see the penguins, and now, in the last 5 or 6 years, to see the meerkats. And that's it. And everywhere around those 5 animals, they got all sorts of things. They got fish. You're going to see a pike. You think, so hold on, I've got a lion over here and a tiger over here. I tell you what, why don't I spend 10 minutes looking at a pike?
You didn't mention giraffes. They're essential.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what's the point?
They're very tall. That's the point.
Well,
they're
they are,
very
yeah,
beautiful.
but you know what? Who isn't these days?
And they look like...
I think I've gone into the zoo in the past thinking I want to see the monkeys. And like I went to Cotswold Wildlife Park, and I went specifically to see the monkeys, and then I saw a giant tortoise, which I wouldn't normally expect to see, and I was really excited about it. It was really massive, and it's kind of like when I first started watching Pointless, I watched it for Alexander Armstrong. And then it turned out there was another creature on set. Now, I like some of the signs that you get in zoos. What about this? My favourite ever danger sign. Oh, how wonderful.
I like to think the crocodile has burped and she's going uphill.
Here's the thing, So what's Noel's choice?
Spiders.
Oh, It was like they had a debate first. Shall we applaud?
Whole gamut of emotions.
Yeah. So why? Why spiders?
Well, I recently went to Australia and that was a whole nother ball game. I mean, I'm frightened of spiders here, but in Australia, they are massive. I mean, literally, one picked me up at the airport. In a taxi.
It's still on your head.
Quite good when we got to the hotel, though, because he picked up all my bags.
But, I mean, they're properly dangerous in Australia as well.
Yeah,
so
well, they can kill you. You know, like here in England, the thing is, in England, you do the sort of postcard cup technique, you know, you try and trap. In Australia, there was one this is a true story. Me and my brother were sharing a hotel, doing a bush tour, and there was a huntsman, it's called. And it literally was this big, right, on the wall. So we couldn't even get it in a mug. I had to go to the kitchen and get a mixing bowl, yeah? And we had to use an album. I used Abbey Road, right? This is a true story. And because mixing bowls, they're see-through, they're sort of magnifying. So it was that big anyway. When I put the mixing bowl, its head was bigger than mine. I could see its cheekbones. It was awful. And so I slid the album underneath it and took it outside and I put it out. And it didn't even just go in the bushes. It walked down the sidewalk like a man. Like a man would. It just went off. Crossed the zebra crossing. Must have got the idea from Abbey Road.
OK, so what is Greg's choice?
People who give their dogs specific instructions.
That old chestnut.
I just think a dog is of limited intelligence. It's well established, and there's an argument about whether they're sentient beings or not, whether they have any awareness of self. I can't be bothered to get into that argument, but they're dogs, OK? There are people in my local park who are having full conversations with their dogs. They're going, oh, Coco, don't mess around in that bush. And I think Coco doesn't know he's in a bush. Coco has no concept of what a bush is. Coco is just trying to smell other dogs' wee and try and find something to eat or have sex with. There's a woman in my park who walks about 5 dogs and she's going, "Oh, Lulu, Lulu, don't play with Coco's stick, that's his stick." Well, Coco has some concept of ownership. And it wasn't his stick anyway. I saw him, he picked it up in the park. And the same can be applied, while I'm on the subject, to toddlers. I don't... I've heard mothers in West London talking to 2-year-olds going, no, don't play with that bowl because you're going to spill food on the floor and someone's going to have to come and clean that up. And the toddler's going, because all they've got a concept of is there's something they can ram in their mouth. They have no concept of the I'm genuinely furious.